Hello, good morning, how are you? It is Friday, the 6th of August, 27th I think it's 27th of August. I'm up hellishly early because I was helpful. I booked a Morrison's delivery for before my husband went to work, only my husband's working from home and so didn't need to be up at 6 o'clock, he needed to be up at 8 o'clock. Oops. Anyway, it's occurred to me it's a bank holiday weekend and I thought it might be fun to do a bit of a vlog. I haven't done anything like this before, so I thought, because this weekend is my last dye session before I hang up the dye pots completely until I'm back in the spring, and so I thought, well, why not go for it and show you a bit of life behind the scenes. So that's what we're going to do today. It's Friday today, so I'm working for the day job as well. So you're gonna see a little bit of what I do for that as well, not too much, and how I juggle home life and the diary and what's going on at the diary as well. But yeah, it's my last opportunity to really show you some studio action, kitchen action. So yeah, I thought we'd give it a go. Join me. Okay, excuse the towel on my head, just had a quick shower. I definitely look a bit less puffy now. So first job of the day, it's not time for me to clock in yet, so I typically get a wash on in the mornings. How glamorous. Do the washing up, make sure the sink's completely clean if I'm going to be prepping for a dye day. And then, yeah, first job, get the yarn ready, get the cat's decided to go out the cat flap. First job is to get the yarn ready, get it soaking, ready to dye tomorrow. So this is pure Wensleydale for a commission I'm dyeing for. It's the last of it. It was quite a big batch. I started it back in July, but due to ill health and stuff, I've not been able to get to do it, but I'm feeling really good at the moment, and everything's going quite well. So I just want to get these done. These are all tray yarns, so they will all be done in trays. I can get 6 of one colourway done at a time, and I can get 4 of another colourway done at a time. And I think I've got about 20 skeins to do, so we'll see how that goes. But that is just going to sit there at least overnight. It's a non-superwash merino, sorry, non-superwash Wensleydale. So the yarn just kind of, the water just kind of sits on the top. So it's going to take a while to saturate. Okay, so yarn, Wensleydale is on to soak, wash has been done, kettle's boiling as you might be able to hear. I've thought about making my plan for the day. I need to sit down with my bullet journal and work out what I've got to do for the day job and what I've got to do myself. Alan's just taking the dog out for a walk around the block because Alan's working from home today. So yeah, I've got so much to do and my mind is absolutely spinning with it all, and time pressure is a huge thing at the moment because I've got a limited amount of time left at the day job. I don't know how much time I've got left at the day job before I go on leave, and there's a lot to do. So I've got to sort of get my head around what's going on there, and then this pile of beauties behind me needs scanning, ready to go to the shepherd, my shepherd friend. Yeah, lots and lots to do. So I think the thing for me to do now is to sit down with my bullet journal and spend a little bit of time planning things out. It's 8:30, so my team are going to be getting to work now, so I'll need to check in with them. So yeah, I'll just spend a few minutes getting my head together. I am still part-time furloughed from the day job, so I'm only doing a few hours today, so that's something. I'll be sort of on call to answer questions from the team. I'm not going to abandon them, but the plan is to bang out a couple of hours of work this morning, try and get lots of things off my to-do list, which I haven't written yet, and yeah, take it from there really. Then I've got the afternoon to get on, I guess. This jumper that I can't show you needs seaming, and the neckband needs doing, and that's for the day job, but that's knitting, that's fun. Just a bazillion and one things to do, ball bands to make, labels to write. I've got to check I've got enough cozy boxes. I've got to check in with my artisans who are contributing to the cozy boxes with me. A whole list of things to do for the day job that I won't bore you with, but yeah, it could be a really productive Friday and quite a good one, I guess, to see what's going on. Kettle's just boiled, so I think it's cuppa time. I think the other half will appreciate a cuppa as well before he starts work. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Right, so I've spent some time in my diary, got my head on straight. Now it's time to check in with the day job. So, might be looking a bit vague. Got a load of work done for the day job this morning, which was great, and then I had hypo, so I have gestational diabetes, and every so often I go a bit low, so I spent the last hour or so treating that and sorting that out, and now I feel bushed. But I just had to show you this. This pile of beauties is the Wensleydale that I have dyed for Longcroft Long Walls. Mine might be Wensleydale and BFL, the stuff I've dyed, I'll have to check. But we've got a Study of Peonies, which is a lot more pink than it's coming up here on the camera. I can't remember what she's called, the gold one, and I can't remember what she's called, the blue one, but they're quite pretty. I'm quite proud of them. Yeah, so that's what I'm finishing dyeing this weekend. My studio assistant is slacking, as always. So I'm just going to take a bit of time, try and get my head straight and recover from this hypo, and then I will get on with some more Midnight Dyery stuff. So I'm starting to feel a bit better after my hypo, so I'm going to get on and start making the ball bands for the Perth Festival of Yarn Collab Club. I make all of them by hand. They're hand cut, hand stamped, and embossed, and the labels are handwritten. One day I'm going to get a label maker, but my handwriting's pretty neat, so I think I can get away with it. and just maybe watch a podcast at the same time. Catch up with the lovely Naomi of Yarn Curator, see what she's got to say this week, and see who else I can find.
Construction, you start by doing eye cords on a provisional cast on, then you work these individual triangles before joining the two sides together. It's then work flat across the bust, so right underneath your bust, and then you join to work the lace and the round.
Hello. So this one has been no help at all today. This has been his Friday. That's his Friday feeling. This is not a flattering angle for me. He goes his boy. He's so silly. He's silly. You silly pup. Yeah. So it's 6 o'clock. I am feeling much better than I was earlier. I've done 25 out of 36 ball bands that I have to do today. It's taken me well over an hour. So I've got 11 left to do because that's maths. So I'm going to crack on and do those, and then I've got to decide what to do this evening, whether I'm going to do design work, whether I'm going to work on my sample for my playground sock pattern. Oh, that's very uncomfortable actually. Or whether I'm going to be a really good girl and start the jumper for the day job. Or will I actually treat myself to some knitting that I want to do? I don't know. I know I've got a lot that I need to do. I've got 36 labels to write as well. All my labels handwritten. Really want to invest in a label maker at some point. If you know a good one, let me know. Hit me up. Okay, all right. Back to it then. Oh, so finally finished the ball bands. The last few don't look quite as smart as the others, but I kind of like them. So if I get time, I'll make some more, but that's it done. So that's all the ball bands for Collab Club and the cozy boxes. Whew. Yeah. So that's one big job ticked off my list. I've got to write all the labels still. I've got to dye the yarn, do the coasters, and finish the design work. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot, but it is It's 6:20 and it's been a bit of a day. So I'm going to call it here and possibly sit and knit for a bit. I'm going to cook dinner and put another wash on because it's not all glamorous yarn dyeing, you know, and like you see on Insta. I'm absolutely shattered. Yeah, so cool. I will see you later. Maybe sit and knit for a bit. Good morning. It is Saturday and I'm tired. Puppy got us up a bit early this morning. He was poorly this morning. He threw up. And I stayed up way past my bedtime knitting last night. I'm getting to the point where obviously I'm working as much as I can during the day. And elements of the day get away from me. So like yesterday I had a hypo and it knocked me out for 3 hours, so I got behind. But I've got this almost childish thing now where I just want my evening and I want my knitting time, and I've kind of stayed up extra late to get it. I think there's a time pressure element as well. I know that soon I probably won't have as much knitting time because I will have my hands full. And there's so much that I want to do. Please ignore my cats, who have both decided to come in and start grooming loudly as I've started recording. They do this every time I get the camera out. Hang on, let's see if we can. Yeah, we're talking about you, Arch. Yeah. We are, both of you, really noisy. I think that's their way of protesting that they haven't had their breakfast yet. So we're going to come in and make as much noise, slobbery noise as possible. Anyway, on the cards today, I'm going to be using my Yarn Dyeing Project Bible, which was gifted to me by Stationery Geek. I actually really like it. It's the first time I'm using it because obviously I haven't been dyeing yarn. It's got this really cool chart in the front. I don't tend to use things like this. I don't tend to use the big measurements. I tend to use teeny tiny measurements, but they're still useful. Notes and doodles. Okay. So on the pages you can have your batch name, date, amounts, batch number, why you're doing it, so if it's a practice or if it's for an order, space for your fibre, lots of space for fibre stuff there, dye recipes, and I really like this. Each one has this kind of grid chart where you can make notes, or you could even, what I'm probably going to do is like the hand painted ones, I would sort of sketch out a loop of yarn and then put exactly where I'm putting the dye, because it's really hard to get repeatable colourways. Because it's all done by hand. So yeah, all the rest of the pages are like that, which is great. I haven't counted how many pages there are, how many different colourways I can do, but that doesn't matter to me quite as much as the Stash Venture one. That vlog will be coming at some point. But yeah, I really like it, and I really like this. It's simple, but it makes me happy. A little bit of rainbow, a little bit of colour to brighten your day. Anyway, first things first, coffee, breakfast, and then I better start work. Okay, so here we are in the dye studio, kitchen, just dyeing up some of the yarn that I can't pronounce. I'm just over halfway through the first skein. My aim is to get all the DK skeins done today, so I've got to get 10 DK skeins done. But yeah, not gonna lie, I'm pretty knackered. But hey, this is all part of the fun. So me and the boy are back on the sofa. I did do some dyeing, but I didn't vlog it. It's not enough. Ooh, excuse me, it's not really enough room in the kitchen. And I'm dyeing the skeins for the Perth Collab Club, which if you want to see me dye that and see the process, then go and check out episode 14 of my podcast. So it is now 5 o'clock, just gone 5 o'clock. I got 4 skeins sorted out of the DK that I need to do. It doesn't feel like a lot, but honestly, I'm exhausted. Hand painting does take a long time, and these yarns are hand painted. So I was just sat at the stool painting them, chatted with my friend Ellen for a little bit. We think we're going to have a cast on party because my mojo's come back and I want to cast on all the things. So yeah, I've done a few Instagram polls today, and the response has been overwhelmingly positive. Yes, let's have a cast on party. Yes, drag Ellen into it. Yes, let's make it a make along, and yes, let's have prizes. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a celebration of winter and kind of the proper crafting season really hitting us, which should be really good fun. So I have got still lots of work to do for Midnight Dyery. So I'm going to move on to design work now for a bit this evening. I think what I might do is what I might do is finish the neckband on this jumper that I can't show you and you're not allowed to know anything about. So I'll just move like that. I might finish the neckband first, although I've got dye all over my fingers. So I mean, it shouldn't come off on the cream yarn, but there's a little bit of me that's like, oh, it's going to come off the cream yarn. Sorry, phone rang. So I've got design work to do. I'm going to finish off the designs for the September cozy boxes. So I'm using old project bag yarn, but it's the same base. So cozy box people who watch this, you won't know this yet. You are getting my merino cashmere nylon Aran, which is so squishy. Yeah, so I've nabbed the last skate from. This had actually gone in the sale because it's been knocking around for a while. But I love this colour. And yeah, so I've got to get on with the design for that. I've got to finish knitting the sample sock for the playground socks and just make sure I've got the sizing done. And I've got to finish the last clue for the strawberry lemonade shawl because that's got to come out this week. And I've got to sketch out the designs for pyrography, which I might do shortly, get a coaster and sketch out the designs for the coasters for this month's cozy box, and handwrite the labels for Collab Club. So not much to do really. Not much to do. Yeah, but he thought, you know, come on, Gem. You thought you were busy running a business. Thought it was busy. It's pretty busy. Anyway, I will see you later. Good morning. It is Sunday, the 29th of August. Sorry I didn't vlog much last night. There was nothing much to see, to be fair. I settled down for an evening of knitting and basically ended up scrolling Instagram for an hour. But it was nice. It was nice to see what people are making and engage with what other people are making and whatnot. So it's 9:20 now. About to have I've had breakfast and about to switch on virtual coffee morning, which is always fun. And yeah, my hips are really sore today. I'm not sleeping brilliantly at the moment because you have to sleep on your sides. My bed isn't as comfy, but spending a lot of time in one position, I don't normally sleep on my side. So yeah, it's yeah, so a bit sore. So morning certainly on the sofa with my knitting is definitely what the doctor ordered. Got to decide whether I'll be able to sit and dye yarn this afternoon on a stool. Hopefully I can. I'm hoping to get all the DK finished and possibly make a start on the 4-ply, but we will see. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, project wise, I've got some work knitting that I'm so close to finishing. I'm tempting to just finish that this morning. Samples, design work, there's plenty I can be doing other than dyeing yarn, so yeah, I'll bring you along for the ride. So here we are. Coffee morning was really good and I did quite a lot of knitting. I actually sketched out the picture for the pyrographed coasters for the cozy box and wound the yarn for the cozy box design. I've just got one to finalise. And now I am back in the studio kitchen with Felicia Lowe for company, some coffee, or decaf of course, and the colourways for that's needed for the Collab Club. So that's what I'm going to be dyeing at the moment. I'm probably not going to vlog it because you've seen this before. It's on a thing. So I've done 3 yesterday. I've got 1 on there. My target is to get another 6 done today. What is the time? It is 10 to 4. So I've been quite uncomfortable today with my hips. So dyeing is starting much later. So I'm hoping that by 6 I'll have done the other 5 skeins of this. So yeah, this is what it's like, kids. Working in a tiny little space, a bit chaotic, but creative, and we like that, don't we? Yeah. Oh, so it's only been about 15 minutes and I got another one dyed, which is great, but I have run out of the pre-mixed dyes that I'd mixed up the other day. So now I'm waiting for, excuse the mess, the hob to heat up. and I have got my garter stitch blanket. I have recently been harbouring this kind of fantasy of having my needles clear for the new year. There are people that do this. I have never done this. I can't remember the last time I had clear needles. So I was chatting with my friend Ellen. I said, well, how many whips do you have currently? Said, well, 8, but that does include 2 blankets. And I said, but, you know, one of them's nearly done. Richard of York gave, you can see the irony here, I'm sort of halfway. So she said, well, I mean, that's doable. If you try and make sure you do a couple of rows a day, then you could actually have that done, which is a really good point. We decided my granny stripe blanket doesn't count. We also decided that my Stephen West doesn't count because that's basically a blanket. But yeah, I could potentially have clear needles and hooks by the end of the year. I think the only thing that I will definitely be carrying over 100% is the granny stripe. So I'm just sat here watching Felicia Lowe's vlog, waiting for the water to heat up, and yeah, thought I would get on with some garter stitch while I wait. Oh, hi. So, yeah, I'm done. It is, let's look at the time. Oh, sorry, 17:25, and I have hit my goal of finishing the DK yarn for the Collab Club, and I've made a start on the 4-ply as well. So I'm 2 skeins down on the 4-ply in total. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, but I just while I've been doing this, I've been watching Felicia Lowe's vlog, Taking Back Friday, and I think I've spoken about this before on the podcast. If you haven't watched it, you really need to check it out. Basically, it's this great weekly vlog kind of chat, and often she takes a theme. So there'll often be a theme of I don't know, there's one making a minimalism. I can say that word, minimalism. And that's something that I was thinking about a couple of years ago as well. Ironically, we both came across the same documentarist or documentary maker, I don't know, Matt Diavella. And I live in kind of constant chaos. It's been years of juggling a crazy job as a teacher with trying to like home and long commutes and all these pressures of modern life that come on, all these things, this pressure to produce. And it's hard, like, you know, I don't think that as adults we have the same time now as we used to like keep clean, like keep the house clean and keep organized, and we get stuff a lot more easily than I think we used to. And you can probably hear my neighbours playing outside in the garden. So like, for example, behind me you can see some chaos there. There's a few, what's that? Oh, coffee that my husband bought. And I've moved, not entirely sure what they're doing. Might give this a minute. Might just shut the door. Rather alarmingly, they were playing with a BB gun the other week, and the swears that were coming out of that house. Anyway, I don't think they're toys really, BB guns, but I don't know much about them. So I can't remember what I was saying now. So yeah, so like half my kitchen is over there on the counter because it's out of the way really for dyeing, and I've been using my other little bit of kitchen space here to do the actual dyeing itself. And if I swivel you around this way, the table is in absolute chaos. That is because we are clearing out the room that I was using as my kind of creative space, as my studio, because obviously it's going to be for someone else. So I've gone through and it's involved clearing out that room. Is not simple. It's involved clearing out my office space. It's involved clearing out files. And oh my God, I was so good at filing once upon a time. But I'm going back and we've got like bank statements, credit card statements from 10 years ago. So one of the things on my list is to go through and shred most of that. I've been through my knitting patterns and sort of looked at how things have changed and my tastes have changed over the past few years. So I love knitting magazines. I used to collect quite a few. I get the Knitter regularly. I'm very lucky that I get sent copies of the Knitter for as a yarn shop manager who I'm advertising with them, so that helps. And what I do rather than store all the magazines is I go through and think, right, do I want to make this? Do I want to make that? Am I never going to want it? So the ones I think I might want to make, or the ones I do want to make, I rip out, and the ones I don't want to make, they just get discarded in the magazine when I've finished reading it. So I had a load of those to go through. I had folders. I'd organised it much like a yarn shop. I had children's, adults. I had organised it in a very old-fashioned way, sort of men's, women's, but basically it was me. It was sort of organised into family members, I guess. Kids, home, accessories. And I went through and spent a few hours pulling all of those out. I've got another vlog that I'm recorded that I will chat about that in another time, or have chatted about it. And I'm just sort of listening to Felicia talking about making, and interestingly, like, I wanted to play her Taking Back Friday playlist in order from beginning to most recent. But YouTube won't let you do that, which unless you sort of take ages creating a playlist, and I'm not doing that. So I instead ended up listening to a few hopping around, and it's interesting just hearing how another maker changes. So she starts off by going, actually, I want to get something out of my knitting. I want to learn something. Just learning a new stitch isn't enough for me. And then in January 2019, she was saying, I just want to have fun. I just want to relax with my knitting. So it's really interesting how we change and how we make changes. And it's just got my head absolutely whirling with ideas for the Midnight Dyery. I mean, I know I'm taking an enforced break. Not that the last 2.5 hours are much of a break. I think I'm going to take this time, you know, when I'm not dying, when I'm not as active, to just try and think about what I want and what I want the business to be, what I want the Midnight Dyery to look like. The goals I have, like revisit the goals when I first started the project bag, you know. I took this great business course from OpenLearn, which gives you free access to higher education level courses. I mean, you have to pay if you want the certificate, but you can learn the theory. And I found my notebooks from that. And I was doing that while I was pregnant with Lara. And obviously it immediately fell by the wayside afterwards. But I was doing case studies they have you do case studies of businesses within your niche, or who have been successful, not in necessarily your particular niche, but in the field that you're looking to go at. And so, what was it? Who's that lady? Lisa Comfort. So I studied her business and sort of looked into that. And I really need to get back to that. I need to get back to prioritising the Midnight Dyery and learning to juggle all the things. I don't know if I will ever be able to juggle all the things, but that's where my mind is right now. Thank you for listening to my random mumblings. It's not exactly a TED talk. I haven't got the answers. Maybe I'll have the answers in a wee while. We'll see. So as I say, it's 5:30. The yarn is in the oven, cooking, setting, because hand painted set slightly differently. I wrap it in tin foil, set it in the oven. I need to get a cloth and some bleach because I've just about destroyed this counter, and this counter was the one that was safe from yarn dye. Oops, sorry, Alan. And just, I need to sit and set up my bullet journal. I think tonight is one of the things I need to do. There's just all these things in my head, all these things I need to achieve for my day job, for my personal life, for the Midnight Dyery, things that I want to do just for me. Like, I signed up for Knit School by the Loveliest Yarn Co. For August. We are now on the 29th of August. I haven't attended a single session. I haven't watched a single lesson, and it makes me want to cry It's like I was determined to carve out a little bit of time for me this month and to better myself and better my knowledge of things, particularly with regards to my craft. And I just haven't managed to do it. And it's not sort of in a beating myself up sort of way. It's in a realising that, core blimey, there's a lot to cram into life. Not a lot of time, a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations, obligations, all the things. And of course my life's going to change again incredibly dramatically very soon. So yeah, it's quite deep for a Sunday night. It feels like Saturday because it's bank holiday Monday tomorrow. So one of the things I haven't managed to do today is get out for a walk. My husband has taken Magnus out just now, and I was like, I'm going to come too. And he's like, you've been sat on that stool for 2.5 hours. You need to sit. You need to rest. And I know he's right. I know he's right. Isn't that annoying when they're right? He seems to be right a lot more than he's wrong. Whereas I'm just winging it. So yeah, I've got to clear up this mess now. Try and get my kitchen back to a kitchen so I can think about cooking dinner. Because that happens here as well. It's a working kitchen. I joke that it's my studio, but you know, one day I'll have a studio, maybe. But at the moment I don't produce enough to need it. I've managed to prep for 2 shows in this tiny kitchen. Yeah, and I also want to sort of make a list of things I want to make and be realistic about what yarn I've got for it. And like one of the things Felicia said was in episode 2 of Taking Back Friday was she deleted her Ravelry queue. Now this is way before Ravelry became, you know, complicated. But she worked out there was 149 projects. Obviously some were little, some were like a hat or gloves. Some were bigger, like blankets, sweaters. She said, okay, let's just say, rough average, it's going to take me 3 months, because obviously she's a working woman as well, 2 small kids. So it's going to take me 3 months to do each project. That's 36.5 years. And I just thought, blimey. Now at 34, I'd be 70. Or would I? Yeah. If I had knitting that would take me that long. And I think unrealistic expectations of time and what I can fit in is definitely a thing. I had a whole weekend off the other week, and it was before all the Collab Club orders had come in, so I couldn't really make a start. I could have made a start on that, but I thought, you know, I'm going to have a weekend for me. And I thought, brilliant, I can finish. And literally my head was going, you can finish 2 sweaters, a pair of socks, start a blanket. What? My poor deluded brain. I don't know. And like yesterday, I felt really upset and miserable with myself because I didn't feel like I'd achieved much. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Anyway, so that's kind of what goes through the head of an indie dyer who is building a business and juggling all the things. It's not instant success. It's been hard graft. I'm still not there. I still can't take a living from my business. I'm not complaining. It's tiding itself over, and I'm incredibly proud of that. I'm so proud that I've kept at it and it's at that stage, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. I'm excited to see what I can do, and I want to show my kids that, you know, you can do these things. But I also want my kids to know about balance. Like, one of the things that I was pleased to leave teaching for was that I could work on my own terms and I could focus on the family, and I've not been doing that. I don't know, my husband works hard as well, and I think we're just guilty of being in this endless cycle of work. And it's like today, I'm busy working and Magnus is like, but you're both here, it's playtime. And it's like, yeah, it really should be playtime. This should be family time. So I don't know. I don't know what the business is going to look like in the future or my working week. I think I'm going to have a lot more control over it. And for that, I think I'm going to be working with my bullet journal. So maybe the next thing you see from me when I'm vlogging will be sitting down and sort of thinking about my bullet journal. I've got one to use up. I got a nice new shiny one because I'd lost my bullet journal. And the new shiny one, I treated myself, it's very expensive, but it's beautiful. And and then I found the old one, so I sulked and didn't use the old one for ages because I knew I had to use the old one before using the new one. And oh, anyway, it's a whole thing. We're funny people, aren't we, us humans? Funny, complicated people. So yeah, right. I've just chatted at you for 12 minutes and this is meant to be a vlog. So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to tidy up and yeah, one more day of vlogging. I might edit it. I don't know. It's like a 4-day vlog. It's going to be quite long. I might edit it tomorrow morning. And then I'll just stitch on what happens tomorrow later. Yeah, because I'm busy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I've still got my other vlog to finish editing from organising my stash with the stash entry stuff. I really need to get in my bullet journal and make a list because my head's going to explode. But yeah, right, okay, let's get this place tidy, shall we? Hello lovely people, this is Bank Holiday Monday. Didn't do anything else last night. I cast off one side of my Tulamine shawl and now this morning I'm back at the dye pots. I'm hopefully meeting a friend this afternoon for a cup of tea, which would be really nice. Yeah, so the phone that I record my vlogs on, this one I'm actually holding on top of the computer because it died, so won't be much vlogging today, but you've had 3 days and today's not much different. Yarn dyeing, pattern designing, general yawning, you get the idea. Wow, this is dark. Hang on 1 second. Okay, forgive the lighting. It is now Tuesday evening, 7:30. I didn't really vlog anything at all yesterday because I started dyeing yarn and then I had a telephone appointment. And then my friend came round. She did come round in the afternoon for a cup of tea and we just we got chatting and we chatted for 3.5 hours and it was so lovely. She was so easy to talk to. She's a yarny person too. And weirdly we didn't really talk about yarn or knit that much. I did seam put the sleeves in on the sample sweater for work. And then afterwards I didn't even think about picking up the phone to vlog. We did dinner and then I cracked on with yarn dyeing again. And some of you might know that I actually do a bit of D&D, a bit of the old Dungeons and Dragons on a Monday night with my friends called the Stabby Dragons. The lovely Sophie Swan of the Spring Snowflake podcast. Check her out. Hosts it. She's our DM, our dungeon master. See, I know all the lingo. And yeah, hang out with a few other yarny friends on there as well. So I haven't played for weeks and weeks, months and months really, because of just being so tired in the evenings, but I'm starting to actually be able to stay up a little bit later. So yeah, we rescued my character, Lorarith. We'd put her in the woods somewhere to do some sort of soul searching for a few months. And yeah, I'm going to actually start playing the campaign again next week. Feels a bit cheeky to be leveling up without actually having done anything, but it was really cool to hang out with them. I finished dyeing the DK, the first batch of 4-ply yarn, sorry. Finished dyeing that last night for Pointless Mnemonic. And I don't think I finished dyeing until 9:30, 10. It was a long evening. Luckily I can sit on a stool, but I was sort of reminded of just why I need to just wind it in a bit. So today was mostly a day job day. And I wasn't vlogging today anyway, but I just thought I should pop on and actually finish this vlog because I just kind of left it with Monday morning going, I probably won't vlog much. There's lots of the same. And to be fair, there was. And yeah, it was nice. Like, it was a nice weekend, and it was my last sort of really full-on one, I guess, for a while. So I hope that you've enjoyed seeing a little bit of behind the scenes at the Midnight Dyery. There's some things that have kind of taken over my mind over the past few days, one of them being make-alongs. So I really want to do the Sweet Georgia make-along. On Sunday, I think, I bound off the first wing of the Tulameen mystery shawl, so I am still not finished, but they've started the 2021 one, and it's called Quiet Bay, and it just speaks to me. I'll put some pictures up of the combinations I'm thinking of, and I've got chatting to the designer. I have a habit of doing this with make-alongs, and she's really nice. Go and check her out. Red Earth Designs, I believe. Pop it down here. And we think my final combo is the one I'm going to go for. I'm just going to wait and see if anyone buys it for themselves from the shop before I steal it. The other one that's got me thinking is the Stephen West make-along. Again, I have absolutely no business casting that on. It's another 5-skein beast. But I've got the colours for it. I was looking at my stash, and I was looking at my shop stash and thinking, I don't actually have anything that really fits the bill. And then I was thinking, well, what's the point in me doing it anyway? Because chances are I'm not going to have these colours again in the spring. I can't dye anything for it. I don't have any undyed yarn, as everything's been wound up basically. So yeah, I can't dye anything for it. And no one's going to see it, and I can't do kits. And then it hit me that actually what I'm lacking at the moment is some really good semi-solids. I've got quite a few good tonals, good variegateds. And when I'm thinking about coming back in the new year, in the spring, I'm thinking about like bringing back core collections. And so I found this picture from Instagram from ages ago. This is my autumn-winter 2019 collection. So we've got neutral tones, hops, port, warning, and afternoons. And I absolutely love them, and I think they're going to be just the ticket for the shawlography. And I can bring them back. I've got the recipes, so I can bring them back in the spring. And I actually also have one of each in stash already caked up. So hops was in my ill-fated Snozcumber, the Circle of Friends shawl by Hohi Locatelli. And afternoons and neutral tones I had put together ready for a Sinister Catigan for my goddaughter, and I've decided she's not having that. And what's the other one? Port was caked up for a shawl that I started, but the pattern was wrong, so that was a crochet shawl. Warning, I'm sure I've got a ball of warning somewhere caked up for something. That's the one I'm not certain about, so I need to have a hunt for that. If not, figure out a semi-solid from somewhere to do that with. But yeah, I think I've actually got everything I need to start the Stephen West as well. So it looks like that might actually be happening. Yeah, so as I say, it's Tuesday night, I'm cooking dinner at the moment, and I thought I would get editing this vlog for you and just wrap it up and say that I hope that you've enjoyed your weekend with me. I don't know how interesting this sort of thing really is, to be honest, but it is called Tales from the Midnight Diary, so it seemed fitting that I would take you a little bit behind the scenes. Oh, hang on. Oh, so I've gone to get this because you know, I mentioned I handwrite all my labels, and it was going to take absolutely forever to write the ones for the collab club. My lovely friend Gem, little grey girl, dropped these off for me this morning. Hang on, let me see if I can. She's wrapped them. There we are. She used her label maker. I don't have one yet, but she used her label maker and created my labels for me, my sticky labels for my collab club yarns. And it's just like, thank you so much, because to write out 40 odd labels for everything I've got to label up was gonna take hours. You saw how long, well, you didn't because I sped it up, but you get the idea of how long it takes to do the ball bands themselves and to write the labels and to make sure I don't make spelling mistakes and don't miswrite things. It's a whole mission. I also am not sure if I showed you this on the vlog or not. I'm going to go through and edit it, but if you are getting a cozy box, shut your eyes now, because there's the design for the coaster for this one, which I'm really pleased with. So I've got to burn those. There's still lots of bits to do. It's not like I had one weekend and got loads done and I'm sorted. And yeah, talking to you lot is not going to help me finish. So as I said, hope you've enjoyed this very different episode. If you have any questions, do please drop them in the comments. I'm going to switch off moderation for this particular episode just to allow a bit more sort of discussion, and also I'm around tomorrow, so I can, or whenever this goes up, I'll be around so I can actually moderate it myself and just, yeah, and I could be around to answer questions and things. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here. Have a lovely crafty week, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye!